Wednesday. And then flick the arms out. Yeah, I'm having a long weekend like you. And raise the shoulders. And flex the knees, off the arms around a bit. We'll do twice as much on Wednesday to make up for it. And then turn the waist, gripping the base of your shoes, keeping those knees slightly bent. It's that waist movement. It's moving those arms for you. And then we're going to turn a bit more. And take the weight to one side and pull those toes back towards yourself. And 1 foot forward. Again, keeping the knees bent. Gripping the base of your shoes or your slippers. Pushing off that front foot, which is what's pushing. I'll start again, which is what's moving your arms for you. You need to put the right teeth in. And change feet. Okay, and then step up. And take the chin slowly to the shoulder. And then the other way. And back to the center. Lower. Center. And raise. And back to the center. Then take your ear to your shoulder. And slowly the other way. And come back to the center. You put your fingers on your shoulders, bring the elbows to the front and draw those big circles. And when you get back to the front, lower them and take them back, bring them back to the front. Forming those gentle fists, breathing in. And let it all go on the out breath. And again. Last time. Interlock the fingers. Draw a circle with the wrist and draw a circle with the heel. And the slower you draw that circle with your heel, the more stretch you will get on your ankle. Change direction on the wrist and change heel. Okay, hands on the waist. Keep the head upright and draw that big circle. Change direction. I'm just going to turn the music down 1 notch because it seems to have got louder. And I don't have to shout at you. Okay, feet together, hands just above the knees. I'll turn this way. So we're just going to bring the chin forward. So you're keeping the spine straight. Feel that stretch on the back of the legs. Oh, yes. And then slowly come up. This time we're going to circle the knees, massaging that area above the knee. And change direction. And this time just bending the knees. Press back, and again. And one more time. And slowly come up, have a bit of a shake. So, we're going to attempt to do the down. We've done some of it, but I'm going to add in the bit that could be a bit tricky, but we will take it very slowly. So I'm going to condense it so we won't do as many repetitions as you would normally do in the form. But we're going to give it a go. In at the deep end, just for Easter. Right. Are we ready? So we're going to step out. So this one is called regulating the breath. So throughout this exercise, you draw that thumb and that little finger slightly together. So we're going to breathe in and breathe out as you bend the knees. So everything is synchronized. So you're breathing in all the way to the top. And as soon as you get to the top, you're breathing out. One more time. Transfer the weight across and close the step. So now we're going to step out the other side. So you pick up the heel, step out, in and out. So this time we're going to bring the weight back across, close the step and slowly bring the hands down. So the next one is called pushing the boat to the stream. So if you mirror me, we're going to turn, raise the arms to shoulder height, draw a big circle with the hands. I'm going to heel step out to the corner. And then you bring your weight forward and flex those wrists and push. Now, I know we're all looking at the screen, but in real, if you weren't watching me, you'd be looking in the direction that you're pushing, but I know you'll all be watching this, but that's fine. So then we're going to release the wrists, bring the weight back, flex the ankle, pull those toes back towards you. So you turn slightly towards the screen, you're going to draw a big circle and push. So this time we're going to come back to the middle. So you're going to flex the ankle, turn, close the step and bring the hands down. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we turn, sink a little bit in your stance. So you join that circle and you step out to the 45. Bring the weight forward, flexing those wrists. Relax the wrists. I'll move slightly if you can't see me. Turn slightly, flex the ankle. And push. So this time we're going to come back to the middle again. Flex the ankle and close the step. So this one is called holding the sun and moon. So you're going to twist your little finger around as you stretch forward and backwards. Okay, so your little finger should be facing the ceiling. Slowly unravel so the palms are facing the ceiling again. And then you bring the hands together, backs to the hands face you. You're flexing those wrists, and then you press down. So we do the same thing on the other side. So you turn. I'm going to turn that music down one more because it just seems to be getting louder. What it is about that track. So you twist the little finger around, and then slowly untwist as you come back to face the screen. Backs to the hands face you. Press down. So do it one more on each side. So you turn, extend, and twist the little finger around. Slowly untwist. Backs of the hands face you. So this is the last one. Twist the little thing around and twist. Backs of the hands face you, press down. So this one is called pan bird spread swings. So you're going to pick up your heel, step out. The arms are the wings. So you're stretching those wings. I'm going to step back a little bit so I keep it screen. And then come back down again, picking up the heel and closing the step. Pick up the other heel, step out. You're going to raise the arms and stretch. Picking up that heel and close the step. So this time we're going to step forward. So you pick up your left heel, place it down, going to bring the arms forward, then turn the palms to the ceiling, straighten your legs, picking up your back heel and stretch. Again, I know I've gone off screen, but my hands are like that. I've got the head a bit more, I'm too tall, that's what it is. Okay, and then you bring your hands down, picking up the toes and come back. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So you're going to heel, bring the weight forward, stretch. Bring your arms down, pick up the heel, toes first, and then close the step. So we're going to do that one more time on each side. So you're going to step out, spread the wings, close the step, and the other side. Spread the wings, and close the step. Step forward with your left, so pick up your left heel, excuse me, put your heel down, bring the weight forward, and stretch. Bring your weight back, picking up your toes. Step. Picking up your heel again, put your heel down, bring the weight forward, and stretch. So the next one is called picking up the millstone. I'll come a little bit closer for you. So you're going to bend the knees a little bit so you can take a wider stance. Okay? You're going to bring the hands up and stretch them to the side, keeping your head up and your back straight. So the knees are tracking out as you bend them. This is fine. So we're picking up a millstone, so we don't want to have bent backs. We don't want to hurt ourselves. So then you're going to slowly straighten the legs and bring your hands up and stretch again. Okay, and then fingers point towards the floor as you slowly come down. And we come up and stretch. This time we're going to bring the weight across and close the step. I'll just move over a little bit for you. So that again, bend the knees a little bit more than you would normally. Take a slightly wider stance. Bring your hands up and stretch. Lower and pick up that millstone. And then gently pick it up. And stretch. This is the last one. And stretch again. Bring the hands down. Slowly come up. So this time you're going to bring your weight back across, extend the arms, and just close the step. Now this is the tricky one. I just want you to take it very, very steady, okay? Do it very slowly. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our arms up and you twist the little fingers round. Arms are just about shoulder height. Okay? Then you're going to allow your waist to turn back to the other way. And you extend the arms to this side. At the same time, you step out, making sure your toes are facing this way. Okay? The weight is in this leg, and this leg is stretched. Okay? Now, because the weight is in this leg, you can pick up that heel now, and you can pivot it so the toes are facing the screen again. Bring the weight across. All I want you to do is to bring your hands to here. So this hand is by your waist. Okay? Now, at the same time, just step behind. So as you can, I'll move across. So that what I'm doing is, I wouldn't normally do it this way because I don't want you to hurt yourself. So that's why. Have this knee in the back of this knee. Okay, so we're still facing this way. So then you're going to turn your waist. Now, this is called looking at the moon through the window. So you've got to imagine that these are the frames, the top and the bottom of the frame of the window. So they're adjacent. And you just turn and you sink a little bit and you're looking through the window at the moon. Okay? And then you're going to slowly bring your hands down and bring them up on the other side as you close the steps. So you bring this foot to the side. Okay, so we do one more on the other side. So you're going to turn and you step out with this foot. So again, the weight is in this leg. And then you're going to pivot on this foot here, move across a little bit, pivot so the toes are facing forward. And again, this time you're going to step the other way. So you bring your left hand to your left waist. Both hands are still facing away from you there. And you take that little step. And then all I want you to do is turn, so you're supporting the back of your knee and the front of your knee. And then just push the arms away from you, just slightly up, so you're looking up through the window. And then you're going to slowly bring the hands down and close the step. Not going to do any more of those. So the next one is called dusting the breeze. So you're going to see how I turn my hands out, back to back, turn them up, and you're going to step out to the corner. There's a floating rib here, and you sort of brush the floating rib and bring it back to the hands around. So you're bringing that weight forward. Turn the palm up, bring the weight back, turn slightly towards the screen as you flex the ankle again. Turn back to the corner, click, and bring the weight forward. So this time we're going to come back to the front. So you turn the palms up, flex the ankle, turn back to the front, flick the rib, and bring the hands down. So we're going to do the other side. So you're going to turn, allow the arms to come round, back to the hands, turn the palm up, stepping out to the corner, flick the rib, bring the weight forward, keeping those arms at shoulder height. You don't want them above. I'll run out of screen again. Palm up, bring the weight back, flex the ankle, flick, bring the weight forward. Okay, and then we're going to come back to the center. So palm up, bring, pull those toes towards you, and then you come back, and flick the lower rib, bring the arms around and down. So we normally do stepping on this one, but we're just going to do stationary. This is old man stroke spear. So what I'd like you to do is to extend your hands around, twist that little finger around. See how my fingers are twisted. I'm going to untwist. Bring the hands together. And we've got to imagine we've got a very long beard. So you're stroking the beard away from the body. Bring the hands down. Twisting the little fingers round. Untwist. Then we bring the hands together and stroke the beard. I'm going to do one more. Twist those little fingers round, untwist, and stroke the beard. And then, if you've got any gents, you put your left hand first. Ladies, we put our right and the other hand on top. And you're just going to take a few breaths. Just feeling this area expand as you breathe in and contract as you breathe out. And shake out. Well done, everybody. I know that's quite tricky. It's a tricky little biter is what I say. Right, getting back to the set 3. I'll just get me notes. I'm not very good at remembering stuff. Right, so we're going to do the commencing the repulse monkey, brush knee, push once, deflect parry punch, parrot pose up, single whip, strum the loot, and we step back 1 or 3 times, depending on your space. I'm going to do 3, but if you can do 3, just do very, very small steps back. And then we're going to do another brush knee push and deflect parry punch on the other side. So isn't it? Right, okay. And so we're going to step out. Commencing. Repulse the monkey. The other side. Brush, knee push. So you bring weight across. Brush, push, bringing that weight forward. Banyan choice. Sit back, turn the toes out, form the fist. You're going to circle the hands around. And then we do our bop as we take that empty step through. Turn the fist, turn the toes out. Bring the weight forward. So you're going to parry. Knuckles are facing the ceiling. And then we bring the weight forward and we punch. Okay, so this hand is close to the forearm. Then we're going to turn our waist and we're going to do a parrot close-up. So you're going to release the fist, bring your weight back. I then start turning this palm up. And once the weight's back, you turn your waist back to the center and separate the hands. Picking up the front toes, pushing the hips back slightly, making that space when you press down and come up. And then we're going to do, and I've forgotten already, you just stay there a second. I'm getting all my fingers up. Right, I remember now. Right, so then we're going to do single whip. So we're going to turn the foot out, bring the weight back, pick up the toes and turn, form your hook, turn slightly, empty heel step, then bring the weight forward. Then we're going to do strum the loop. So you're going to turn, release the hook, turn the palm up, turn, bring the weight forward, half a step up. Put the weight heel down, bring the weight back, turn the palm over, January sails. Turn slightly back towards the screen, sinking those elbows, picking up the front foot and strumming the loop. As I've said to you before, if you've got knee problems, just bring the weight a little bit more forward. Otherwise, keep the weight back in this leg. Now we're going to do 3 very small repulse monkeys. So we can do 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to do a weighted turn so that we can do a brush knee push on this side. So you get ready to do your brush knee push, brush and push. So now we're going to do banyan choi, deflect parry punch on the other side. So you're going to sit back, turn the toes out, form your fist with this hand, circle the hands around, and T-step. Remember, these are adjacent. Turn slightly. So this time you're going to pop the nose with the left hand. The right hand is down by your side. So you're going to turn your toes out, turn your fist over, bring your weight forward, and you're going to keep turning, parrying with your right as you take that empty step through. So the heel of the hand is down. Knuckles are facing the ceiling at the moment. Turn the knuckles, start bringing the weight forward, pivot on that back foot, and punch forward. So just to finish, we're going to do a parrot close-up on the other side. So this time you're going to turn to your left. You release that fist, bring the weight back, and as you turn your waist, you separate the hands. Picking up the front toes, making a little space, you're going to press down and up and forward. Okay. Extend the arms, stepping up. The knees still bent. Slowly straighten the legs, sink the wrists, and allow your arms to come down and close the step. Brilliant. I'm just going to see if I can move you back a little bit. Right, try again. I'm moving you around in your lounge. Are we ready? So we're going to step out. Commence. Repulse the monkey, both sides. Brush, knee, push. Banlan Choi. Apparent close-up. Single whip. Strum the lute. Repulse monkey 3 times, very small. Weighted turn, so we can do brush, knee, push again. Banlan Choi on the other side. Turning the foot out, holding the fist. Popping on the nose, empty step. Turn the toes out, turn the fist. Turn the fist again, punch. Apparent close-up. So you turn your waist to your right. Bring the weight back. Turn the waist back to the front. Pressing down. Extend. Closing form. One more time. And because you are facing me, I know there's 3 repulse monkeys, but I'm going to try not to say too much this time. See how you get on. So we're going to step out. Commencing. Well done. Right. Have a quick drink if you've got one. I'm going to. Right, so we're going to do the first set that I taught you, which has white crane spread swings. So we do commencing, 2 part of the horse's mane, white crane spreads wings, and then I think it's brushing the bush. I'm just going to check on my notes. Brush knee push once and then strung the note. We pass the monkey twice and then we go back and we do another weighted turn so that we can do the part the horse has made. And then we end up doing white crane spreads wings on the other side. And we repeat it until we go into grasping the bird's tail towards the end. So I'm going to face you and I'll give you the names of the moves for this one. And then we'll see how the time goes because it's 12 o'clock now, but we'll see how we go on. That's what I do after that. If I have my back to you. Right, so we're going to step out. And we're going to do commencing. And we're going to turn, that weighted turn, so that we can do part the horse's mane twice. And you don't turn all the way. And sit back and do another one. And we're going to do white crane spreads wings, so half step up, bring the weight back, then turn. You're looking towards your right palm, and then you spread the wing, grab the front foot, and just place the ball of the foot down. Turn your waist until you can see your right palm. Lower, raise your left, back towards your right. So you step back and brush knee push. Then we do strung the loop. So half a step up. And then we're going to do 2 repulse monkeys. And then we do that weighted turn so we can hold the ball again. And then we're going to do 2 part the horse's mane again. Back. So now we're going to square up and we're going to do white crane spread wings on the other side. So half a step, bring the weight back first, then turn the waist, looking towards your left palm. Turn your waist back, spread the wing. Adjust. Turn your waist to your right until you see your left hand. Then start turning back to your left, and then you do a brush knee push again. Then we do strung the loop on the other side. So half a step up. Sit back, turn the waist, generally out, and strong the loop. Notice that I'm not square to the screen, slightly side on. 2 repulse monkeys. And another one. And then we do that weighted turn so we can do grasping the bird's tail. So remember, this is an upward movement. Square up, roll back, turn the waist, and press. I've got 2-inch gap in between the hands. Gently squeeze as you bring that weight forward. And we're going to come back and push. Sit back, turn your front toes out, and hold the ball on the other side. And we're going to do grasping the bird's tail on the other side. So bring that weight forward, square up. Bring the weight back, then turn the waist. Back ready for press. And come back for push. And stepping up for closing form. And close the step. I had to think then which way to close. Right, so I'm going to turn my back on you and we'll do it. I will still give you the names of the moves, okay? We'll all be doing it in the same direction then. Okay, so I just need to find out which way I'm supposed to turn first. That's my right, so I've got to turn to my left now. Right, it gets confusing all these lefts and rights. So we're going to step out. See me just yet? commencing. Then I'm going to do 2 part the horse's maze. White crane spreads wings. Transition into brush knee bush. Strum the lute. Repulse the monkey twice. Weighted turn so we can hold the ball. Part the horse's mane twice. White crane spreads wings on the other side. Half step. Transition into brush knee bush. Strum the lute on the other side. Step back to repulse monkey twice. Weighted turn to hold the ball, and now we're going to do grasping the bird's tail, ward off, roll back, press, come back for push, sit back, turn your toes out, we're going to do it on the other side, ward off, roll back, press, come back for push, and then we're going to step up for closing form, straighten the legs, sink the wrists, transfer the weight, and close the step. Excellent, well done.